Welcome to Data Science class. This is Vivin here, and today we will talk about Python tokens, which mostly consists of all the programming that we do. They include keywords, identifiers, literals, operators. We have already seen variables, so how is it different or what are these things? Keywords are some special characters. Identifiers are special names like variable names and function names that you use. Literals are the values that you assign to these variables, and operators are your addition operation, your multiplication, division, subtraction, logical operators, your uh, relational operators, less than, greater than. So let's look at all these in this particular class. So let's go back and start a new project or a new notebook, and inside this let's see how do you know what are keywords. So every time you write something, let's say if I write A, it's not a keyword, but what if I write false? See, it turns to green. Anything that is a particular keyword will change color. For example, class, or if you use, let's say, def, which is used for functions, which we'll see later, or let's say print, it's a function that exists, so it's built-in functions, built-in keywords. So these you can't use it for your variables, they are only specific for your project. What if you try to use it? If I let's say def equal to 34 and run it, it will say sorry, invalid syntax, so you can't use this. So that's what it will tell you. Now let's move on to identifiers. So identifiers are, for example, this. Let's take an example of a variable. A is an identifier which identifies a value of 34. So it's a variable and specifically an identifier. I can use anything like, let's say, underscore album rating as an identifier. I can add numbers inside here, but one thing that you have to remember is they can't start with a number. If you see, as soon as I type a number in the front, it will give me an error saying invalid syntax. So you can not use any special characters or numbers to start identifiers. The only thing that you can use is underscore, or you can use any character to start a particular identifier. And one more thing that you have to remember about identifiers is two variables. For example, some variable equal to 4 and some variable equal to 5. These are not the same things. Identifiers are case sensitive, so if you are using different case, for example here some variable is 4 whereas some variable is 5. So Python interpreter, what it does is it kind of thinks of these as two different. So make sure you don't do a lot of common mistakes that we do is we try to give a particular name and then we forget about the case sensitivity and we use something else and it gives me error, and we try to figure out for a long time why is it causing this problem. So be careful with this type of sensitivity, especially to case. So make sure this is right. So this was our identifiers, keywords, and literals. In this case is the value that is assigned to anything, even if a string, let's say some string equal to string. So whatever comes on the right hand side of the are literals. They are constants, they are values, so they can't be changed once you use them, but the variables can be changed. So these are literals. Now let's go to the next topic, which is operators. So I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as Python tokens. The only thing that I'm not adding to this is operators. You can say save and close, and I'm going to create a new one because operators is a big item in itself. So I'm going to say a equal to 2, b equal to, let's say, 6. Run it. Next, I want to see the value of a and b. So a is 2, b is 6. Next thing, what are the different operators that are available, or arithmetic operators in this case? I'm going to give arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators include addition, so I can say a plus b. I have a minus b, a multiplied by b, and a divided by b. So these are different arithmetic operators that are available to us: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So you don't have to do anything special, it comes with it. The next type is relational operators. Create relational operators. In relational operators, you have greater than, less than, not equal to, and equal to. For example, I can say, is A greater than B? It will say give true or false. So in this case, it's false because A is 2 and B is 6. So A is not greater than B. Is A less than B? Yes, it is. So true is what we see here. Is A equal to B? It's not, so it's going to give me false. Is A not equal to B? And it will give me true because A and B are two different values. So that's how you can use relational operators. The next one is logical operators. Now there are two different types of logical operators. One is and the other one is or. So what do I mean by that? So let's say A is true and B is false. So they are mostly used for Boolean operations. So if I say A or is used by pipe and B, so A or B. So is A or B true? So when I run this, it will say true. The reason is because one of them is true. If when you say A and B, it's looking for both of them to be true, but since one is false, it will say false. Is A or A? So is one of them true? Yes, it is. B or B, since both are false, it will give me false. Similarly for A and A, true because both of them are true, left hand side and right hand side. B and B, since both are false, it will say false. So this is how logical operators work. So we've learned what are different operators, that is arithmetic operators for doing addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, relational operations which tell you less than, greater than, equal to or not equal to, and logical operators or and. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments.